This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Tuesday, July 8th, 2025. I'm Alex Brown. In conjunction with the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game, the Komen Tissue Bank at the IU Simon Comprehensive Cancer Center is looking to collect healthy breast tissue from 500 women to aid in breast cancer research. While any woman who meets the eligibility criteria is welcome to donate, the tissue bank is hoping to reach Black and Brown women over 18 and all women of color under 40. Kathy Ridley Merriweather is the recruitment manager for the Komen Tissue Bank.
Researchers want to study us to find out why we get breast cancer, how we get breast cancer, why the treatments aren't working as well for us. We are the only ones who can help them. If we don't participate, we cannot benefit. We are the only ones who are able to do this.
The All-Star Cure event will take place Saturday and Sunday in Indianapolis. Uniseal, an automotive sealants and adhesives manufacturer and subsidiary of South Korea-based LG Chem, is in the midst of a 73,000 square foot expansion in Evansville. The project is expected to create 50 jobs with the goal of strengthening the company's manufacturing capabilities. Details of the company's financial investment were not disclosed. In January, the Economic Development Corporation of Wayne County launched the Housing Accelerator Program with the goal of giving housing developers an incentive to finish the build-out of existing but incomplete subdivisions. The EDC this week announced 5 subdivisions in Richmond, Centerville, and Cambridge City that will share in $820,000 in funding from the program to add more than 80 new houses. You can view the list of recipients at InsideIndianaBusiness.com. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
To succeed, you need to stay informed. You need to be engaged. And let's face it, you need to set yourself apart from the rest by connecting with a company that brings you the best. Because in today's environment, business is an ever-moving target, and we'll help you chase it. IBJ Media. The best of business is in us. Get started at ibjmedia.com/youngprofessional.
Gross assessed values for commercial, industrial, and residential properties throughout Indiana collectively rose 12% from 2024 to 2025. IIB's Marek Mazurek has more.
The latest figure comes from a statewide comparison chart assembled by the Department of Local Government Finance for property taxes due and payable in 2026. The data is sourced from ratio studies performed annually by the state's 92 county assessors. Commercial assessed value grew 16% in total, according to the study, ahead of industrial assessed value, which increased almost 15.6%. Values for Hoosier houses collectively rose by less, at 10.5%. Agricultural land, meanwhile, will be assessed at a lower base rate than the previous year, thanks to a provision in the behemoth tax plan Indiana lawmakers approved in April. Larry DeBoer, a retired Purdue University agricultural economics professor and tax expert, said that'll likely shift property tax burden towards other property types. And that's not the only shift. The legislation also saves homeowners a collective $1.2 billion in property taxes over the next 3 calendar years. It does so basically by creating a credit for 10% off every homestead's bill up to $300 each. I'm Marek Mazurek for Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Purdue University is launching what it says is the country's first graduate degree program focused directly on radiopharmaceutical manufacturing. As part of the launch, Purdue is partnering with Indianapolis-based Spectron RX to build a dedicated radiopharmaceutical manufacturing training facility at the company's headquarters. The university said the degree program is in response to a growing demand in Indiana and across the U.S. for skilled workers in the field of theranostics, which involves the use of diagnostic and therapeutic radiopharmaceutical drug products for cancer treatments. The program will begin in the spring 2026 semester. A major project in Bloomington, once billed as a once-in-a-century chance to bring in significant affordable housing, is at a standstill, but the city wants to use the setback as a chance to revamp its entire philosophy around development. 2 bids for the Hopewell neighborhood project were rejected by the city's redevelopment commission last week. Mayor Carrie Thompson said there is a good opportunity to audit the way the city's development approval process works.
We know, and it's a concern of the administrations, that development has been very slow in Bloomington. It takes a long time to get a permit, and that costs money, not just to the developer, but that end cost gets ultimately passed on to the the person who lives in the unit. So that very timeline is actually driving our housing cost up.
Bloomington is changing course and will now pay a consultant to facilitate a process where ideally multiple builders will take part in the Hopewell project instead of a single developer. Lebanon Mayor Matt Gentry is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.